Welcome to this week's live demo with Logosol. We're gonna go through our blade sharpener today, the Grindlux, and I'm here with my colleagues today. My name is Pelle.
Anders.
Karin.
And before we start with the live demo, I just want to inform you that you can go into logosol.com for more information about the sharpener and all of our other products, and you'll find pricing there as well. You can also visit our YouTube channel, Logosol Portable Sawmills, and on our Facebook page, Logosol Portable Sawmills. We also have an Instagram account, so #Logosol, and you'll find us. Yes, today we're gonna talk a little bit more about our blade sharpener, the Grindlux automatic blade sharpener, and this machine runs on 12 volts, so you can attach it to a normal car battery and run it with. We think it's very important with sharpening, because it's crucial regardless of what saw or band sawmill that you have. It's very important that the blades are correctly sharpened for you to get a really good cutting result. So that also gives the overall result of the sawmill. So today we're going to go through how our little machine works, and this machine feeds the blade forward, and you set the depth of the disc here. You adjust how much it moves each teeth forward here, and on the back here you can adjust the attack angle. It's usually on 10 degrees, but you can adjust it to 7 degrees if you're cutting really hard types of wood, or 14 degrees if you're cutting softer types of wood. But most commonly used is the 10-degree angle here.
One thing.
Yes.
Please feel free to send us questions, ask us questions in the chat, and we will try to answer them during the live stream.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. That's really important. And Anders, you have prepared a little bit here. So this is usually attached when you're starting out. So once the blade has gone a full turn, this part here of this little bracket will turn off the machine. So we have a few more teeth to go, and maybe if you could film now when we're starting this out, how the machine goes down in the teeth or the tooth, and also follow the gullet, the bottom of the teeth a little bit. You can see here, you want it to follow a little bit in the gullet here, because here's where you get the micro cracks when you're milling with the blade. And the blades that we're using for our sawmills is normal spring blades. They're called the standard blades. We also have HSS blades, so high-speed steel blades, a bit more durable, and we also have carbide blades for really tough jobs. The standard blades and the HSS blades can both be sharpened in this machine, whereas the carbide blades are, you can say that they're one-off blades. You run them till they're dull, and then you'll get a new one. And a part of the reason that you can't sharpen them is that they don't have the same pitch between the distance between the teeth as the normal.
Show them here, but if you
we can show them here.
The regular. See if we can make it like this. And see. You see it's you have bigger gap between these,
Yeah.
and the same here, and the bigger. And the original or standard blade are the same everywhere. So, should we start it, Pelle?
We'll start it now. Yeah. So once this has gone through now to the end, we're gonna put this blade in our B751 band sawmill.
So, and you say that it's important to take down, to say, in the bottom of the teeth.
Yes, to sharpen the bottom, the gullet of the
Yeah.
teeth. Yeah, yeah. So we'll open this up now, replace the blade. And at the same time, we can also point out that when you're putting in a new blade, it's also good just to check the blade guide rollers to make sure that they're pointing in the cutting direction, that follow the direction of the rail, so you get a straight cut. You can adjust the angles with these grub screws here, so that they allow you to adjust the angle forward like this, sideways, and in and out. So you want a little bit of a distance to the flange here, where you have on the blade guide rollers, because the blade will back up slightly when you go into the log. So we can release you've already released the tension. Yeah.
Take it.
We have our first question, Pelle.
Yes.
Why is it important to sharpen the bottom of the blade?
It's because it's in the bottom of the blade you get small micro cracks when you're milling, and you want to remove them with the disc so they don't grow. Because when the blade is under tension, if the micro cracks is not removed, they're gonna grow, and finally the blade will break. So that's the reason. Yes.
Perhaps you could do a short introduction to the sawmills as well.
Yes.
Later. Yeah.
So this is our B751 band sawmill. I told you about the blade guide rollers here, that they are adjustable. And another thing that's a bit unique with this is that the fan wings here on the band wheels works a little bit like a ship extractor, so a little bit wider, just to clear out more of the sawdust when you're milling, to keep the cover clean and reduce buildup. And there you'll have these on these band wheels and these adjustable blade guide rollers here. They're the same on the B751, the B751 Pro, and the B1001 band sawmill. So you basically you'll do the same type of adjustment on all three of our band sawmills. And then
And you have the adjustment for the wheels, so you can tilt the wheels here, and if you have to make. Here are the fine adjustments, and you take the most on this wheel first when you're
Yes,
setting
yes.
it up.
Exactly, and you'll have that adjustment on the back here, on each side.
Good.
Yeah. And here is where you can see the tensioning here. So you have a orange colored washer, so you can see where you should be with the tensioning of the blade.
So. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And Anders is just checking now with the alignment. So he just want to make sure that the blade doesn't want to move forward or backward, because then it'll come off as soon as you kind of rev up the machine. But then we're good to go.
Yeah.
We'll just close this and make a cut.
See if we make good work.
It looked very easy to change blade.
It is,
Mm-hmm.
yes. It's. I think it's a minimum amount of time, really. But if you're milling a lot, it can actually be quite useful if you're milling a lot of hardwoods, for example, to use a blade that is a little bit more durable, just so you don't have to change blades that often.
You told about 3 different types of blades. What is the difference in operation hours?
The standard blades, they have about 1 to 2 hours of running time before you need to sharpen them. The HSS blades is usually around 3 hours, and the carbide blades, they can. We mention about 20 hours, but sometimes it can be longer and sometimes a bit less. But it usually it depends a lot how clean the bark is on the logs, because that's usually what damage the blades or dull the blades. See how. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good, yeah. Looks really good. So now we've put in a new blade in the band sawmill B751, and now we're gonna start sharpening this blade here. I'll take that. And it's usually a benefit if you actually have gloves on when you're doing this, because it's you have so many teeth on these blades, so it's so easy to cut yourself.
too much, I think.
So that. So, let's see here. So what you can do when you're starting out with this machine is that you can start the feed without start the rotation of the disc. Just to see that you're pretty near, so you're just touching the teeth. Anders, could you start?
I think
you can see
yeah.
there maybe, yeah. It looks pretty good. I think we're gonna have to do a little bit of adjustment here. We can see. It's actually pretty good. So ideally you want to remove as little material as possible so the blade lasts as long as possible. And usually on these blades you'll get about 4 to 6 sharpening out of these bandsaw blades. And then you replace them with new blades.
Can you say how much as little as possible is?
Well, we actually have some customers, they even take brand new blades and you just touch it. You barely just touch the surface because they think they cut a lot better when you sharpen the tip a little bit. But you really just want a sharp new edge. So if they're just a little bit dull, you can remove very little material on them and then they're sharp again. The problems is if you run them for too long, then you have to take off a little bit more material to get them sharp.
Okay, and we have a question about the price of the machines. Perhaps we could repeat the contact details.
Yes, you can find pricing on our website. So on logosol.com you'll find the prices for the Grindlux and all our other products as well. And if you have any questions regarding what type of blades you have and if they work in this machine, I think I left out something that's important to know, and that's this Grindlux sharpener works on bandsaw blades that has a pitch that's either 22 millimeters or 25 millimeters. And the blades that we supply are all 22 millimeter, except for the carbide, but they're not really resharpenable. So yeah. Do you think is it something you want to add, Anders?
I think you managed to catch the most of it. It's the most important thing that when you are the bandsaw in place and all adjustments are done, then it's the blade it's going to make the good result in the end. So the tip is to don't mill too long before you sharp.
No, that's very true. That's usually when most problems that has to do with the cutting equipment occurs, is that you have a few logs left and you just want to finish off.
Yeah.
But then you might get a lot of waves and you can't really maybe use it.
No, it's,
you can't really use wavy boards for much.
No. And the risk is that you destroy the band.
Yeah.
So you can't save it.
Exactly. We can add that For lubrication on our mills, we use water. We have a water tank that's in here, so it's integrated with the chassis, and it's the same on the B751 Pro, and on the 1001 it's a slightly bigger tank. And if you're cutting wood that has a lot of resin in it, for example, we have a lot of customers that mix in soap, for example, or dishwashing liquid, just to help prevent resin buildup on the teeth of the blade. So that's quite commonly used, actually. Feel free if you have any questions regarding the machine or any of our saw blades, feel free to ask.
We have a question here.
Yeah.
What kind of electricity do you need to run the machine?
This one runs on 12 volt, so we've attached it to a normal car battery here. There are also transformers available if you want to run it on single phase 230 volts. So that is an option. But we mainly supply the machine, and then you get a normal car battery for it.
Did you show that it is totally automatic with the clamp?
Yeah. We show it when we on the last one, but we can show it how it works one more time. That
Yes.
when you have start sharpening, you put this on, and then you see you put it 8 teeth behind the first. So you're sharpening 8 teeth, and then you get so it sharps the last one too. So you can put it here and start on it. But you can see
Yeah.
you can just run it without that one.
Yeah. So that just means once you've done a full turn, it'll turn off the machine.
And you can put it up and you can go on milling when that's doing itself. So
Yes. So there it is.
Yeah.
And
So that's super smart. You can start the machine and it runs, and you can start
Go on working,
the
yeah.
saw again.
yes. And especially because, there's a lot of teeth on a blade, so if you're able to do something in the meanwhile, it's certainly a benefit.
Have a fika or a coffee.
A coffee, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a coffee. And also we had a Swedish customer in the Swedish version of this live demo that also gave a really good advice, and that's ideally you want to start so you're never passing the weld. So you go a full turn and leave the weld, because where the weld is, the distance can differ a little bit between the teeth. So it might differ slightly from all the rest of the teeth. So that was actually a very good advice that he pointed out.
Okay. So it's 3 different ways you can adjust the sharpener.
Yes. So you can adjust. Here is where you adjust how deep or how the depth, really, how deep the disc should go, and here is where you adjust the movement forward, and on the back here you adjust the attack angle of the disc. So those are the 3 adjustments that you do. So it's it's fairly similar to a chain sharpener, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we can show this. We have some clients that prefer these CBN discs just because they keep the shape all the time. And these discs are pretty durable as well. So we have these discs available for you if you would like to have them. Otherwise, with the machine, you have a ceramic disc that comes with it, and this is an accessory basically.
Mm-hmm. We could say something about the company Logosol, perhaps.
Yes, yeah. Logosol is a family-owned company, and it was started in 1989. We started with the chainsaw mills, but we are now making our own bandsaw mills as well. Since about 3.5 years ago, I think we started.
Yeah.
And we have 3 models. So we have the what we call kind of the standard B751, the B751 Pro, which is it basically has the same saw head as the normal B751, but the rail is basically a similar rail to the B1001, just not as wide. And that allows you to attach a lot of the accessories that we have for log handling or height adjust. We have a digital height adjustment system called the Smart Set. You can add a trailer and so on. So it's a bit reinforced, that rail. And then we have the B1001, which is our largest version. The B1001 can handle a log at about 1 meter, and you can cut 850 millimeters in maximum width. And on the B751 Pro and B751, you can cut maximum of 600 wide, and if you're squaring up a log, you can handle a log at about 751 millimeters.
Yes.
So we are based in Sweden, and the bandsaw mills are developed from our engineers, and they are made here in Sweden. So high quality product.
Yes.
And also the sharpener is.
The same goes with the sharpener. Yeah.
So we think they are a very good combination.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of our bandsaw mill customers. They use these machines in their for sharpening their blades, but we also have a lot of customers that use different brands, just because it's a very affordable sharpener, and it's quite easy to use it, and you can also, since you can run it on 12 volts, you can use it. You don't have to have access to electricity either.
So if you like to know more about Logosol, go into our website.
Yes.
Logosol.com, and follow the social media.
Yes, you can visit on our Facebook page, Logosol Portable Sawmills, and our YouTube channel, Logosol Portable Sawmills. You can find, we've done a lot of live demos on our other equipment as well that you can see. We've saved the videos there, so if you want to have a look at that, you're warmly welcome.
Yeah, and if you don't find a dealer in your country, so call us in Sweden.
Yes,
we help you with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And our phone number is +46 611 182 85. And you can contact us on info@logosol.com.
Yeah.
Yes. And also sign up for our newsletter for the latest information, and got a lot of tips and tricks from different customers and so on.
Yeah.
So please send in if you have any more questions in the chat. Perhaps we could end with the tips we have in the product catalog regarding bandsaw blades.
Oh yes,
Do you
yes,
think so? Yeah.
definitely. So you should always use some kind of cooling aid when you're doing milling with a bandsaw to keep the blade cool so it doesn't overheat. You should also
Sharpen time.
yes.
Always don't do the extra log or the
Ex-
extra cut.
It's
Maybe.
usually better to sharp it in a little bit shorter intervals instead of
And maybe you can sharpen it once, twice more
yeah.
instead, so you have a sharp blade all the time.
Yes, and loosen the tension of the blade if you're not milling for a long time. A lot of customers actually just take out the blade and hang it up on a wall, and they usually do two. So you have one wall with new, sharpened blades or new blades, and then one with the used blades that need sharpening, just so you don't mix them up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
it's...
think we covered.
And when you handle the blades, keep the guard on as long as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Super. We haven't got any more questions.
Well, if you have any questions later on, don't hesitate to contact us. You're warmly welcome. And from Sweden, we wish you a happy midsummer.
Absolutely.
Sunny regards.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.